India because of large import of used machines. They will probably not be able to offer their loom even if it is produced in India unless there is some protection given. So as Mahendra Bhai was saying that even in plastic machinery, I was really surprised that even 30% old machines are coming. And this, if we have to progress rapidly, if we have to make our name or we have to generate our brand India, make in India, then we really have to have latest technology. And therefore, all of us should look for better technology rather than old technology. And then the report also recommends build up and or strengthen dedicated R&D cells at IIT Delhi, Powai or CMTI. Then these are the recommendations for knitting, processing and for industrial stitching garments and so on. But when you bring this technology, it is also very important that you develop an ecosystem, and this ecosystem should be in place before you start with the manufacture of high technology machines. An ecosystem would consist of very critical components, and today these critical components are not being produced in India. And if you start producing this, if you want to start producing this, you have to have some suppliers who have to be really been pursued so that they come to India and they make investment in India. They feel safe that yes, this is going to be a growing market where there is ease of doing business. They have to be, in your presentation, out of 144, India was 95 or even above 100. No, so this has to change. And if this has to change, and if this will change in next few years, I'm sure that the investors will be very happy to come to India because India has a great potential. Like China had, India is now developing, and therefore it has got much higher potential as Chinese market is slowly likely to decline with more and more wages. The cost is going to rise and India has to be competitive. So these are the about 10 different critical components or sub-assemblies which make high technology machine work in a manner whereby it can be classified as a state-of-art technology. Then for recommendation of speedy implementation for bridging these technological gaps, I am very happy, and this is a very pleasant experience, Sahai Saab, that your department has come forward, and probably ours is the first application which has been approved, and we have formed a cluster of these weaving machine manufacturers. 5 of them have come together. They have we have supported them from association, and DHI has also assured them that if you locate a right source where you can develop technology, then DHI has agreed to give, and it has been already approved. 80% of the project cost is being funded by DHI, and this project is now going ahead with CMTI. So we at association are very happy that the government scheme, we are likely to extend the benefit to our members. And this is also true for our 2 associations. ITAMMA is also together with us, and their members are with us. So we are working together and see that the technology, there is R&D that concept which was missing so far is now brought into all the manufacturers. The biggest problem with our industry is our user industry. And they have been, for all these 15 years, been given the advantage of technology upgradation fund, where there is interest subvention to the extent of 5 to 6%. And therefore, they come more in line with their investment cost with the internationally. So here the TUF scheme, is sometimes on, sometimes off. And this has resulted into applying of brakes so intermittently over this period of 15 years that for example, our machines are ready, but the funds are not available. And the machines have to wait in our godown or on our assembly shops. And then it creates such a big problem of inventory for future supplies or for next supplies, because there is no space on the assembly area. So TUF, the recommendation here is that without any change, for 10-year period, there should not be any change. Whatever is the terms of TUF should be maintained. And that will give assurance to an investor that nothing is going to change. Allocation of fund in central budget should be made in consultation with industry. Why I'm saying this? Because in the last year, the last budget, the TUF, which was in the earlier budget, provided at 1,864 crore, was reduced to 1,520 crore. Now, the problem is that for the 3 quarters of the earlier year, the disbursement was not given. The amount has probably lapsed. And therefore, with the reduced amount for the whole year and 3 quarters also which will be added, this amount is too small. So such things have to, be taken care of. Otherwise, again, the textile machinery industry and textile industry both will have problems. At present, TUF benefits are not available for second-hand machinery except specific shuttle-less loom. In order to promote usage of latest technology machinery and to promote machinery manufacturing investments, it is recommended that import of second-hand machinery should not be encouraged except in case of select technical textile, which is upcoming, which is still new in India, and non-woven machinery. Then there is also some injustice in form of benchmarking of our local weaving machine. But as far as the same type of machines, if they are imported from China, there is no benchmarking. So they will qualify for TUF, whereas we will not qualify. Then there is obviously this imported duty structure, and this imported duty structure is creating also a lot of problems. Before I conclude, one more thing I like to mention, sir, that we talked about ecosystem. And this ecosystem, if it is developed in small and medium industry, that would be much better, because on a sustained basis and on a long-term basis, we'll be able to maintain cost. And with those costs maintained, we will be able to offer our equipment in even export market at a very competitive rate. Now, if you look at the SMEs in Gujarat, I am talking about, that even a small industry which would like to invest in 1,000 to 2,000 square meter of plot, which is very small, and construct a building of about 400 to 500 square meter, the capital cost would be more than 1.5 crore. And to service this is going to be very difficult. And if he does not have good business in first 3 years, which is not going to happen, no, he'll definitely find it very difficult. Financially, probably he'll be ruined. So it is necessary that any new GIDC or IDCs, if they come up, they should have a certain area earmarked only for small scale industry, and the industry who qualify should be given on a rental basis the premises, and he should not be asked to pay the money upfront for all the capital that is for land as well as for building. If this is done, and if the party or the entrepreneur is able to pay regularly within 30 years, the asset can be transferred to him. If this kind of scheme is throughout the nation done, no, I think it will really help the new entrepreneurs in SME to come up, and it will be a great help. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And those were useful suggestions and overall perspective on behalf of textile machinery manufacturers. We are, of course, running behind time. We would like to hear more from the audience who has been listening to us patiently. Please introduce yourself, ask questions about the scheme. DHI officials, Joint Secretary are here to answer your queries. And if you have any questions from the industry present here, please do tell us. Yeah, I didn't.